Is Earth just a zoo for aliens? Welcome to the cosmic exhibit. What if Earth isn't just a planet floating aimlessly in space? What if we're part of something much bigger, something designed for observation? Imagine we're animals in a galactic zoo, carefully studied by an alien civilization so advanced. They've chosen not to interfere, only to watch, not because they fear us, but because we're not ready. This idea isn't pure sci-fi. It's a legitimate theory within the field of astrobiology, and it's called the zoo hypothesis. Today, we're diving deep into one of the strangest and most fascinating possibilities in the search for extraterrestrial life. Is the silence of the universe a message in itself? Are we alone or simply being ignored? The Fermi Paradox, the cosmic silence. Let us start with the problem that led scientists to consider something as strange as the zoo hypothesis in the first place: the Fermi Paradox. In 1950, physicist Enrico Fermi asked a deceptively simple question: where is everybody? The observable universe is nearly 14 billion years old. The Milky Way galaxy alone has over 100 billion stars, and likely even more planets. Many of these are older than our sun. Some have conditions suitable for life. Some could host civilizations millions or billions of years older than ours. So why haven't we seen them? Why haven't they visited? Why haven't we detected a signal? Given the timescales involved, there's been plenty of time for intelligent life to arise, develop spacefaring technology, and spread across the galaxy. And yet nothing. Silence. This contradiction between high probability and zero evidence is what makes the Fermi Paradox so compelling and so frustrating. What exactly is the zoo hypothesis? The zoo hypothesis is one proposed solution to this paradox. First formulated in the 1970s by MIT researcher John A. Ball, the idea suggests this: advanced extraterrestrial civilizations are already out there, and they are aware of us. But they've deliberately chosen not to make contact. Why? Because they don't want to interfere. It's just like humans observe animals in the wild without disturbing them. Aliens may be observing humanity, waiting for us to reach a certain level of technological or moral maturity. Earth, in this view, is like a cosmic wildlife preserver, a zoo exhibit behind invisible glass. We're free to roam, to evolve, to make mistakes, but not to communicate with our observers. Could this actually happen? It might sound far-fetched, but the zoo hypothesis is actually grounded in logic. If a civilization survives long enough to become truly advanced, it may evolve beyond conquest or colonization. They might value non-interference, something many Earth cultures are beginning to recognize in how we approach wildlife and ecosystems. And it's not hard to imagine why they'd want to stay hidden. From their point of view, revealing themselves might cause mass panic, cultural collapse, or even violence. Our history shows how unpredictable human reactions can be. We struggle to handle new technology. How would we handle a new species? So, the safer choice: observe. Wait. Watch us grow. The prime directive. Ethics on a galactic scale. This brings us to the idea of the prime directive, a fictional concept from Star Trek, but one that actually mirrors real discussions in astrobiology and ethics. The prime directive is a rule: do not interfere with less advanced civilizations. It assumes that early contact can skew natural development, create dependency, or spark social chaos. If advanced civilizations do exist, it's likely they've encountered many primitive species over time. And if they've learned from those experiences, they may have adopted similar guidelines. We'd be just one of many. Perhaps there's even a galactic federation, not of politics, but of principles. A shared agreement between civilizations to monitor emerging worlds like ours, but never intervene until certain milestones are reached. Are we being watched right now? Here's the unsettling part. If the zoo hypothesis is true, then right now, you might be under observation. Not in a science fiction way, with giant spaceships hovering above, but subtly. Imagine microscopic probes scattered across the solar system, cloaked devices hidden on the moon, sensors that operate in frequencies we haven't even discovered yet. More chilling. AI systems so advanced, they're monitoring our digital activity, the rise of the internet, our media, even videos like this one. Of course, there's no direct evidence for this. But the zoo hypothesis doesn't depend on evidence of interference. It depends on the lack of it. It's the silence that matters. What would make us ready? Let's assume we're being watched. That raises a critical question. What are they waiting for? When do we cross the threshold from zoo animal to galactic peer? It could be technological maturity, like developing faster than light travel, or long-range communication that proves we're ready for dialogue. It could be social, a world without war, poverty, or ecological destruction. Maybe once we show we can manage our own planet responsibly, then and only then will we be allowed to join a larger interstellar community. Or it could be a test of time. If we can survive our adolescence, nuclear weapons, climate crisis, AI, political instability, then we've proven our worth. In this view, humanity is still in its teenage years. The grown-ups are just waiting to see if we crash the car. The psychological impact of the zoo theory. Let's get philosophical for a moment. If this theory is true, what does it mean for us? Are we prisoners? Or are we under the protection of benevolent watchers? Would knowing we're being observed change how we live? Would governments cover it up? Would religions collapse, or would new ones form? This is the psychological power of the zoo hypothesis. Even without proof, it forces us to reflect on how we see ourselves as isolated or as part of something greater. And if one day the curtain is lifted, would we be proud of what the aliens see? Criticism of the hypothesis. Not everyone is convinced. Critics argue that the zoo hypothesis requires a lot of assumptions, that all alien civilizations agree on non-contact, that they're capable of hiding themselves perfectly, that they'd even be interested in us at all. Others say it's just another human-centered theory assuming aliens care about us as much as we care about them. Maybe they've already seen billions of Earth-like planets and civilizations. Maybe we're not special enough to study. Or maybe there's nobody out there at all. Perhaps we are the first, or the last, or the only. Conclusion. The silence speaks so. Is Earth just a zoo for aliens? We may never know for sure. But the zoo hypothesis offers a compelling, if humbling, explanation for why the cosmos remains so silent. It suggests that the silence isn't because the universe is empty, but because it's listening. And one day, if we pass whatever invisible test has been set before us, we might hear a voice respond. Till then, we live, we grow, and we wonder. Are we alone? Or simply not yet invited to the party? Stay curious, always intrigued.